Hello everyone, this is my Italian Easter quiche. It rose really high, and then if you let one, as it's cooling down, it drops down a little bit. So I'm going to get a knife and show you what the inside looks like. Hang on, guys. So you can eat this cold or hot. See? Isn't that delicious? It's so good. Oh my goodness, it's so good. It's ridiculous. My favorite's the asparagus. Anyway, so you can cut that and you can wrap it. I'll show you. And then you can put it in a freezer bag. But you gotta let it cool down, you know, real room temperature before you do that. So you can get some wax paper. It's still warm for me to do this, but I'm just giving you an idea. I want to take it and put it in 3 pieces on your wax paper, and then you're going to pop it into the freezer bag like that, and then cover it. Make sure it's cooled down. I have to put this back over here. So anyway, I'm going to make the Italian Easter quiche. Well, forgive me, the Easter bread. I'll give this to my dogs. Anyway, let's see. Let's get this out of the way. So what we're going to do for the Italian Easter bread. So if you look at my picture that I have posted, it's Italian Easter bread. And it's called an aniseed Easter bread. So I use aniseed oil and my aniseed, which I just emptied out here. So I'll show you how I do this. It's very, very good. It's a sweet bread. And I love the aniseed in it. Carolyn Mama Ramblings, she tried it in different ways, like maybe chocolate chips, or if you want to use a lemon rind and a little bit of vanilla, or if you want to switch it up, that's up to you. But the Italian Easter bread is done this way. So we're going to start off with a pan. Put that heat on a little bit. And we're going to start off with some milk. So we're going to use 1 1/4 cup of milk. We're going to use 5 3/4 teaspoon of butter. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost to there. This makes 2 loaves of bread that I just showed you. So you get 2 loaves out of it. So do not burn this. Keep it maybe at a 6, so like a medium heat. And you're going to melt this down. You're going to melt the butter down. And we're going to put in, let's see, a 1/2 cup of sugar, which I already have. So what we're doing is we're going to heat it all up and melt it all together. And once this is warmed up, it will melt all the sugar and the granules of sugar in the butter. But again, you don't want to burn it. So just keep mixing until you melt that butter. Takes a few minutes. You can hear the sugar's already melted. You know, I can't feel it. You know how sugar gets in the pan? I could have cut this butter up, but I didn't. It's all good. So again, I have 1 1/4 cup of milk. I have 5 3/4 teaspoons of butter. Low heat. I'm going to use 2 1/2 tablespoons of yeast once this gets warmed up. So I'll show you in a second. Oh, here's my yeast. So that's 2.5 tablespoons of yeast. You could stick that in there. And keep mixing, keep mixing. Once you get this part done, it's over. I mean, it's such an easy bread recipe. That's my dogs barking. Shh. Shh. All right, so I'm gonna add my aniseed oil. My grandmother used both. She used aniseed oil and aniseed. And it's, I don't know, it's such a tradition for us. So I'm gonna give it 2 tablespoons. Wait till you smell that. It's amazing. See? And then the aniseed, which is 2 tablespoons here. Pop that in there. How easy is that, right? It smells delicious. I love it. Just reminds me of our tradition in our family with my grandma and all my cousins, and so blessed. It's so blessed to be part of that. You know, nothing about family tradition, you know. So as you can see, the butter's almost melted, and I can actually take it off the heat now. Even though you see it's still not, it's still there, it's okay. I want it off the heat. So let me get a mitt. Okay, so I'm gonna keep mixing. So I have 1 1/4 cup of milk, 5 3/4 tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna put that on low heat, and you're gonna add your 2.5 tablespoons of yeast, a 1/2 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of aniseed oil, and 2 tablespoons of aniseed. And then we have 2 eggs over here, and we're gonna whip it up. We're gonna whip those eggs in there. Give it a good whisk. And then we're gonna add this to 4 cups of flour. We're gonna mix it well, and then we're going to let it rise for at least 2 hours. Really important to let it rise. That's where you get all your air in your bread. I wish you could smell this. Well, you will if you make it. But again, you can use any ingredients. I get a lot of questions with that. Stay with the formula that I gave you, but you can do like a lemon rind. You could use vanilla. But this is the way I was raised. And to the true Italians, I'm sure they already know this recipe. So by keep mixing it, I'm activating my yeast because it's warm. I've melted my butter, my sugar's all melted. You don't hear anything on the bottom, so you know it's ready. So let me get this out of the way. I use my hands. That's what I'm used to. My grandmother always used her hands. She didn't have Betty Crocker KitchenAids and all that stuff. She used her hands. So again, it's gonna look just like this. You wanna bake it at 350 for about 20 minutes. You want a golden brown. You don't want it dark brown. And then you can color your eggs and put them in raw, like that. You could put it in raw, and it will bake as you bake it. So if you don't have time to boil it, you could still color your egg and then do it that way, or just boil it and whatever you want to do. put an Easter egg in. And what we do, it's for show. It's just for show. So here's my 4 cups of flour. Let me get a spoon. And I'm going to gently pour this in. Look how nice that looks. And mix it up good. Do not worry about your bread at the first time being real tacky, like real sticky. I'll show you some tricks. You want it moist. You don't want it dry. If you add too much flour, you're going to have a very dry bread. And just give this a good mix. And we're going to let this rise for 2 hours, and I'll be back again to show you how we braid it at that point. We'll mix it up a little bit, and we're going to braid it. If you don't want to braid it, you could just put a regular loaf. But I just think it's really pretty to decorate it in a braid. You see how it's still tacky? That's okay. You want that. So make sure you scrape that bottom real good. Let me get a spatula. Just scrape it all off. You don't want to waste anything if you can help it. Just give this a scrape down. And get it all in the center. My hands are clean because I already washed them, so always washing my hands. So what I do is I take a little olive oil, put it in my palm, about maybe, I don't know, maybe a tablespoon. Go like that. Tap it all around. And the reason you want to do that, because when it rises over the Saran Wrap, you don't want it to stick to the Saran Wrap because you'll be wasting a lot of dough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it warm. So I'm putting a towel underneath, like that. Then I'm going to put Saran Wrap on top to keep the moist in, to keep it warm. It should double its size in 2 hours. I use this metal dish because the Saran Wrap sticks really pretty, not pretty, but really good to it, better than a plastic bowl. And I want to keep it warm. If you have a large bowl that has a lid on it, that's great. I don't. But anyway, seal it up, and then you're going to get another towel, and you're going to put it right over the top, and you're going to let it rise for 2 hours. So I'll see you in 2 hours. Thank you.